All right, this week in OT, we are going to make a little craft, a little activity out of some things we might have laying around the house, all right? So I figured it's fun to make puzzles and to build puzzles. So we're gonna make our very own jigsaw puzzle out of an empty cereal box, right? You can use whatever box you might have laying around the house. You might have empty cracker box or piece of a frozen pizza box or anything like that will work. So I kind of like cutting things that are a little heavier than regular paper. So these are nice little cardboard. They're not too thick. They're kind of easy enough to cut, but a little stiffer than regular paper. It just makes it a little easier to keep the pieces together. So a little extra here, we'll just rip that right off. So for this, you need very little. You need scissors and something to write with. So I like to use very small pieces of crayon for things like this. Kind of promotes a nice mature grasp because it kind of forces you to use your fingertips when you do this work. So that's good practice for that as well. Kind of a nice little two-handed task, using some classroom tools and coordinating our eyes and our hands together. So first thing I'm going to do is cut off these little extra pieces of the cardboard. You see these little flaps on the edge. That's what I'm going to do first. Remember, when we use scissors, we always have thumbs up. That's for the hand that holds the scissors. It's also for the hand that holds whatever you're cutting. So we have thumbs up, both directions, nice and careful so we don't cut ourselves or anything else that we shouldn't. And let's just cut these extra pieces off first. I think for today we'll just use the front of the box. Could certainly go back and make a whole second puzzle if you want out of the back of the box. Or find 2 or 3 boxes and make a few different puzzles. You could do one with straight lines. We're going to do curved lines on this one, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. But you could do straight lines. You could do kind of a mix of straight and curved lines. You could make one with just a few pieces. You could make a really challenging one with 50 or say even 100 pieces if you wanted. So give yourself a challenge. Time yourself. See how long it takes you to make the puzzle. Challenge somebody else. See if you can beat their time. It's kind of a fun little activity you can do at home. All right, so we're going to make curved lines on this. I'm going to kind of think like jigsaw puzzle, right? So the jigsaw puzzles have kind of curvy lines in both directions. So I'm going to try to just kind of rough this out. I'm not going to make too many pieces on this one because they're tricky enough and these pieces won't actually lock together when you put them together. You kind of have to hold them carefully together. So I'm not going to go too difficult on it, but let's make a few pieces here. So I'm going to start just by making a few sort of jigsaw puzzle looking lines. I'm going to kind of keep them a little even, make some curves. You can really make them just the way you want. You can make some even that are have some straight edges. You can kind of do anything you want. Just make some curves. Let's start with some sort of different shaped curves this time. All right, so we made our lines in one direction. Now we're going to just sort of turn this direction and make some lines the other way. All right, so let's do that. There, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. Of course, now I made some really tough curvy lines. Now I have to cut all of them, all right? So a little bit of cutting practice here. It's great for strengthening your hands, especially cutting cardboard like this. So let's cut. So when we're cutting, I always want to make sure that our elbows are nice and straight into our body. It gives a nice base of support. Sometimes it helps even to anchor your forearms on the table or if you're working at a tray. I like to kind of keep them off, but if you need a little more support, go ahead and anchor your forearms down a little bit. Of course, you don't have to do it perfectly on the little lines you made. As long as you get close, it's good. Very good. So now all we need to do is flip these pieces over, mix them up, and make the puzzle. And there we go. Well, it was a little harder than I thought. Well, that was kind of fun. So challenge yourself. Make one with a lot of pieces. Make one with just a few. Maybe take a couple boxes and do it. Have some fun with it.